What is up? Welcome back to another episode. In last week's episode, we got the Miata back with it fully caged. It turned out phenomenal. Again, hit up Travis. Instagram's right here. Get your stuff done right. So we got painted with Steel It, which came out great, and then we also painted the floors black to get rid of all the white that I could. Before we did all stuff with the cage, we pulled the motor out, pulled the transmission out, checked out all the clutch and stuff. Clutch was toast. We got a clutch ordered. We also checked out all the seals that we think are bad, which is the rear main, the oil pan gasket, and then the dipstick tube. It's a little O-ring. We got all that ordered. With that being said, we need to pressure wash the motor and also the engine bay, which you can see the engine bay is absolutely disgusting. It's just gonna be good to have a nice clean slate so we can have something to go off of when new leaks start happening. I've got the oil pan gasket in, the rear main seal, and the dipstick tube gasket. Also got the action clutch and flywheel in, and then also my upgraded intercooler, which this boy is fat. That intercooler is Fab 9's Stage 2 intercooler. It's supposed to be good for 550 horsepower, which will never be there, but that's kind of one of the things that's good for overkill. Hopefully to bring IATs down a lot, which is good. Other little tidbits of things that I bought that are going for this car for Drift Week is these guys. And then also, these just came in today. These are Duraflex 20mm fenders. Already not pretty stoked about them. This right here was like bent up and I just had to smash them down with some heat. So it's got a little bit better, but we will kind of go over that process when we do that side over there. But overall, I think it'll be pretty nice once we put a little bit of time into it. After showing all those parts, building off what I ended in the last video was that I'm trying to do weekly uploads. I'm trying to stick to Sunday uploads in particular, which means I don't have much time during the week. So I got technically 5 days of film and then 1 day to edit and then 1 day to release and check everything. So that means we got a lot of parts waiting, which also means we got content coming up, but it also means that I won't be getting to everything in a video. So don't expect me to get to certain things that I might show in the beginning of the video. I'm excited to show you guys what I've got going for this car. It's really hard for me to store something away and not tell anyone about it. Like the car I've got over here that I've kind of hinted at, I like really badly want to show it off, but also I know it's good to keep that one a secret. So in this video, my goal is to get this guy resealed, pressure wash, get the engine bay pressure washed, get the clutch and flywheel mounted onto the motor, get the transmission mounted, and then hopefully get that guy snaked back into the car. Then we can start working on intercooler, the routing, all that. My goal with the intercooler stuff is to get a nice custom setup, one piece for each side, hopefully get it tacked up and then take it to Travis and let him burn it through and just make it look really nice. I'll practice on some aluminum some other time, but I want this setup to look nice and be reliable, and my welt's just not there yet. I could do aluminum, but it's just not there yet, and we don't want to play with that fire right now. So if we get all of that done, I would like to start on the dash, get it trimmed and get it fitting right, and then hopefully start putting the interior back together. Without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's get this guy going. Okay, let's go over what just happened. So we flipped the motor over, obviously cool and all that stuff came out, cleaned it up. And I was looking over the motor one last time to make sure that the valve cover wasn't leaking, because you know all the oil was going to the head now. And as I was looking around, I was looking in this area while it was flipped over, and I could see oil right here. So I was like, So I looked right here at these seals for the camshaft. They looked a little saturated. So I was like, oh boy, here we go. Finally bit the bullet and took apart this whole front assembly. I really didn't want to do it, but you know, I think I've learned my lesson thinking like that. Flipped it back over, took all this off, and sure enough, all this was caked in, not like saturated, but it was wet. And I'm not for sure if it's these camshaft seals or not. I'm taking a guess, and I'm thinking that's a valve cover seal up here. Usually, at least on Hondas, you'll put a little bit of sealant right here in these corners before you put the valve cover on. So I'm wondering if I was supposed to do that on these, and I just did when I first built the motor, so it just was able to slightly seep out. If I look over a little bit deeper into this motor, I can see some leakage on this back side. So it makes me really think that that could possibly be an issue. But coming here, this is absolutely gross, and I still think that this oil pan gasket's bad. But I can also see this guy leaking and saturating this and coming down here as well. So I'm kind of torn because I don't want to take this oil pan gasket off, because if you don't know, this oil pan gasket is all gasket maker. There's like only the half moon seals. So it's kind of a pain, and I really don't want to do it. So I'm debating on what I want to do here. I'm also debating if I go ahead and get these seals, which I really don't think I need them, because I compared it to this front main seal, and it's not leaking, but you can tell it's a little wet. So I want to say these guys are good. I don't understand why it would leak. I put it on like any other normal seal, you know? So that's kind of where I'm at right now. So we'll be back. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to go inside for the night. It's Monday night, so we're done for the night. Probably message Cam tomorrow. Cam's like my battle buddy when it comes to stuff I can't figure out. He's a little nerd too, so it's nice to get his input on stuff like this. Oyasumi nasai, which means good night in Japanese. I'll see you tomorrow evening. So next day back out here, we talked to Cam, talked to a couple other people, thought about it and everything, and consensus is just go ahead and reseal the whole thing, because if you leave one thing untouched, that thing will probably be the one that's leaking. So might as well just cover all the bases, just make sure we triple check that we install it correctly. So hopefully nothing leaks when we put this thing back in there for good. I don't want to take this thing back out anytime soon, hopefully. Unless we're doing like a VVT head swab or something, but even then, we could probably still do it inside the car. So the issue now is I purchased all of those gaskets and stuff to reseal the motor from a company called Treasure Coast Miata, which is in Florida. And if y'all have been watching the news, you'll know that a massive hurricane just hit Florida again. And I think they were in the trajectory of where like most of the damage was. So I don't know if I'll be getting those parts anytime soon. I kind of spent a good amount of money, so I don't know if I want to re-spend that money to try to get this thing done in time. And it really sucks because on Tuesday I got an email that said that the order was processing. You know, the thing that sucks is that I went with them because they're fast, and it's nothing against them. I mean, obviously something crazy is happening, but the other option was Fab9, which their shipping really sucks. Their customer service is pretty good, but for some reason their just whole logistics is just absolutely horrible. So I was trying to avoid that, but now I probably should have done that. In hindsight, I should have, you know, remembered that a hurricane was just about to hit Florida. So, but since those seals probably won't make it by Sunday, which is when I need to get this video out, we need to do some other stuff going forward. I still can do the oil pan gasket, but before I do that, I really would like to get this thing cleaned up. It is absolutely disgusting, as you had seen. But the only time I have to do this is at night, and it is very dark outside, and I don't have any fancy lenses yet that are good at night, which would be a prime lens. I don't have any prime lenses yet. And if those shots don't work out, then we'll do a cool little YouTube trick.
Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Always had a way to make it work and find another route. Yeah.
Alright, so side quest time. This morning, Colton sent me a marketplace link, and it's for a tire machine that was up for $500, offered to do $300, told me $350. So we are on our way to Nashville right now to go pick that up. If anyone knows, you see my older videos of me trying to change a tire on my very old machine. That's basically a manual machine now because it needs a lot of work. This will be a big upgrade. I'll also be able to do anything over 15 inches now, which I can't right now. My machine can barely handle my 15-inch tires, so it'll be a good upgrade for the shop, and then hopefully we can sell my old machine, kind of make some money back and counteract how much we're spending on this machine. So let's go. Pretty sick little place. Looks like we have a car guy, nice little STI. Looks like they repair a bunch of diesels, and there's a bank truck in there and stuff like that. He's about to get it with a fork truck. We'll throw it up on here. Seemed pretty nice heavy machine. So, well, the old unit's already gone. I posted that thing up for sale for $200, and I think I've had over 30 messages in about 3 hours. I had one old man come and look at it. He tried throwing a big Tahoe wheel and tire on there, and that machine just can't do it. So he's like, it's not good for me. I was like, good. At least you came and checked it out, brought your tire. So another guy, while that guy was coming, he's like, I'll give you $240 if that guy doesn't buy it. I was like, all right. I was like, just so you know, he didn't get it because this tire didn't work on it. He's like, yeah, it's good. I'm still coming to get it. I was like, okay. So like after 2 hours later, because he got stuck on 24, there was like a 3-car pile up and it was gridlocked basically. Came and got it. We loaded up. He just left. So $240 later, I'm $110 into that new unit out there. Solid deal. I'm so excited. I've been wanting to buy one of these for so long. I was this close to buying the ones off eBay. I think they're like $1,400, but good thing I waited and didn't buy it. This thing should be good, and if anything is wrong with it, I can fix it. I think there's a control panel in there that controls a bunch of stuff on it. Right up my alley. A bunch of the cylinders look like I could get those replaced if anything's bad. So pretty solid, and I'm thinking not putting it back there, but putting it right here somewhere. Finally have it in here, and then have some more space in there. So now the tough task is figuring out how to get this machine off my trailer because the guy loaded it with a fork truck. So this will be interesting. All right, so we are back. We got this guy unloaded thanks to Colton. I would have got it unloaded, but it was helpful he came. I was kind of struggling a little bit. I was taking it apart, took that neck off. I was about to take that thing off when he rolled up, so glad he showed up because I probably would have killed myself. So now we are fitting the dash up. Went and bought that today. Plan is to kind of get this guy cut and then slice this one back. And then the goal is to hook this side in, and then this one goes shoo. So that will keep
the VIN plate.
The VIN. So let's get to it. So we're done with the dash for now. We still need to figure out the air vents and how we can at least get some of it to work, get those upper vents and maybe the front vents. I think those side vents are toast. I don't think we're ever going to be able to use those, but we'll see. So let's talk about this guy real quick. This machine is a Haas. We got the rim clamp that can go up to 22 inches. We got this guy, which is air assisted. It can go up and down. We also got this cylinder right here, which actually is these two fingers. I'm pretty sure this is pull the bead off and put the bead on. Someone can correct me. I'm still gonna learn this machine. I've never actually worked on a nice machine other than my crappy one. So then we got these controls here, which controls this guy, goes up and down. This rolls the bottom bead, I'm pretty sure. And then we got this guy, which articulates. I don't really know what it does yet. And then we finally got the bottom bead popper, which is also air assisted. All this stuff is air assisted. It is a Teco. And on one of these, there it goes, top line. So anyone knows anything about these, let me know down in the comments. But from what I can tell, this thing is really beefy, like industrial type stuff. And there's all the pedals. And then that guy's for like the air chuck. Like I said, I'm honestly really excited to get this thing. I've been wanting one for so long. And it's sick to get a good deal on this, which is why I tried my best to give someone else a good deal on the one I sold. So let's talk about the motor real quick and where we're at. Still didn't hear anything from Treasure Coast Miata about where my parts are. I'm assuming they're still trying to like gather themselves from the hurricane, which is fine, I get that. So I've sent them 2 emails on separate accounts that they say that they can receive emails on, and I'm hoping Monday at least hear something back from them and hopefully get a game plan going forward on their timeline. It was kind of demotivating with all that happening, not trying to be like a crybaby because obviously they got hit by a hurricane. That's horrible. But this was my whole plan for this video, was to get this thing sealed up, clutch on, and back in the car. Kind of just like lost all my motivation this week and it kind of sucked. So it is what it is. You'll have your ups and downs when working on cars, as everyone knows. But with that being said, hopefully I got enough content with the tire machine, the dash, and some other things to make a nice video for y'all. Again, trying to do the weekly thing, so bear with me if some of the videos are boring and short. It's just part of it. Trust the process. So if you stayed in the video, appreciate you always. I'll see you next one. Peace.
So you know Jared's famous, right?
Not even close.